there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I wanted to jump on and talk about stress and exercise and cortisol and the biggest mistake that women make when they're exercising. I do a lot of talks at gyms, fitness centers, and just to women who want to be fitter and healthier overall. And the way women exercise oftentimes is the worst thing that they're doing for themselves, and they have no idea. So this is all information that is in my book, The Female Fat Solution, which is on Amazon. So if you haven't read it, pop on Amazon and search for Female Fat Solution and get it. So much great information in there, and I talk in depth on exercise and stress and hormones there too. I do have a 12-week program for nutrition geared towards your hormones and cycle. Again, all based off the information that's in my book. You can click the link here to learn more about it. And here's my website. If you guys are interested, pop over to my website and get a free 7-day Jumpstart Meal Plan Guide that will take you through carb cycling, protein pacing, intermittent fasting, and much, much more. So, when we talk about stress and cortisol, the effect on the body is really quite amazing. You will actually store more calories, store more energy. Everything that you eat gets stored in your fat cells, and it's going to want to go right around your midsection. So if you are a gal that has that, they call it like belly fat, or you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm working out and I'm noticing more, I'm getting more tone in my arms, or my legs are getting more defined. I can feel muscle there. But my midsection, holy crap, I have this tire and it won't go down. I can't target that, you know, and you're like looking up, hi Erica. Yeah, I can't wait to see you at the gym soon, I think, right? But if you're thinking, oh, I'm working out so much and I just can't get rid of this tire around my midsection, however big your tire is, you're just frustrated and you're stuck with it, and you're like, ugh, I feel like this should not be here based on how hard I'm working or how clean I'm eating. I'm eating so clean. I'm eating so healthy. Why is this thing around my midsection still? What the heck? And oftentimes it's because you're exercising incorrectly for your body and incorrectly for where your stress hormones and everything is. So for a lot of women, women process stress and react to stress differently than men do. A lot of women are not surprised to hear this, right? But your body will actually hold on to things more. So it's really, really tough to just follow the same workout regimen that a lot of men are following and get the right result. And one of the things that women will do, they're like, oh, I'm going to start training for something. I'm going to start running. Great. But if you're getting on a treadmill for an hour or an hour and a half, that's really, really stressful for your body, and you're actually increasing the amount of stress hormone that gets released in your body. So here's how this works. When you start exercising, here, this is a timeline. I have a lot of great art skills, timelines and graphs and charts. It's my skills. Okay, so here's a timeline. This is when you start exercising. At that 30-minute time mark, this is when there is a release of cortisol. A release of cortisol. Now, I'm not talking about just oh, thank you. I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm going for a light walk or something like that. I'm talking about you are really exercising a lot harder. You're pushing yourself. You're going for a run. This is not a little light stroll. You're going, it's a tougher workout for you. But at that 30-minute mark, and this happens for everybody, that 30-minute mark, your body releases cortisol. And it's going to increase and have more cortisol in it, which is a stress hormone, in relation to your exercise. And that's going to keep going. That just keeps going here. So you're working out, you're like, oh, I really want to get fit. Oh, more cortisol. More cortisol, more cortisol. And most of the time, that is not the reaction that you want to have, because what cortisol does is it causes you to store your food in your fat cells. So increases in cortisol usually equals increase in fat. It's usually the opposite of what you want to have happen when you're exercising, right? So how do you combat this? How do you get around this? Well, one, you do a workout that you keep to 30 minutes or less. This is especially if you already have hormone issues, especially if you already have stress in your life. You're not sleeping well. And it can be, you know what, oh, I'm really busy right now, or I've got a lot of things going on, but I got to get to the gym. It's a stress reliever for me to get to the gym. Absolutely. Keep it at 30 minutes or less. This is really, really important. But if you are, say, training for, so this is something where when I talk about this, a lot of gals are like, oh my gosh, you're totally right. You're training for, say, a half marathon or a marathon, and you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna do this race because I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna get fit by training for this race. Yay! So you're getting on a treadmill, you're doing all these runs, and instead of losing weight, you start gaining weight. And then they're like, oh my God, I don't understand. Or I have friends that like every time they train for a long run, 10K, half marathon, something like that, they gain weight. They gain weight because they're not timing their nutrition correctly around the stress that gets released, because you have to run for more than 30 minutes, right? Unless you're super, super fast, which if you are, awesome. That's awesome. But if you're training for longer than 30 minutes, your body will release cortisol and it will cause you to store more fat naturally. That's just the natural reaction that takes place. What if more classes are 45, 60 minutes, but they have breaks, still the same cortisol release? Excellent question. So for example, I do a boot camp, Erica, that when you warm up and cool down, the workout is actually only 24 to 26 minutes. So that stays within that cortisol window. If you're doing a class that's longer, or you're training for something that's longer, here's the biggest key. Here's the thing that you need to do to make sure you're keeping track of, so your body's not releasing cortisol and you're not fighting against it. Now this is, I'm doing an hour-long class, like a cycle class, or going for a run. I'm training for an event. I've got Ragnar coming up, so I've been going on longer runs. Ragnar's a really long, silly run. I'm kind of nervous. Okay, so what you need to do at this 30-minute mark, if you know you're going to be exercising for another 30 minutes at least, you need to have some type of glucose injection. Have some glucose there. So you'll see some professional athletes or high level athletes, they do this. And this is not a new secret for high level athletes. But it is not for women. When you have hormone issues and everything else, you have to treat your body like an Olympian treats their body, because you need to get yourself up to the starting line to start even seeing those results. And I talk about that in a lot of my videos. But glucose, having some type of glucose here. So this is the big important key. This is the trick. This is it right here. So you can have it in a drink. I know Gatorade is a popular beverage. I don't like Gatorade because they have artificial colors and stuff in there. So I like to make my own Gatorade, or, Gatorade type version, electrolyte beverage. You can have applesauce, something with glucose in it, some type of sugar. Not a lot of sugar, but like a cup thing of applesauce. You're looking for some type of sugar, a glucose injection, a sugar injection right here after that 30-minute mark. And that will actually cause your body's cortisol levels to stay lower, because it's got this sugar to burn, right? It's got something to use, so your body's not going to freak out and increase the cortisol. Doing this, you're going to feel better through the second half of your workout, or the second half of your run, or whatever it is. You're going to notice a faster recovery because your cortisol levels aren't going to be skyrocketing, and you're going to really start seeing better results physically, meaning, oh my gosh, this is going down, the tire on my belly, it's changing. It's changing because your cortisol and stress levels are changing in your body. Yay! So this really is the number one thing that, and I've worked with a lot of, athletes, professional athletes in my career, and trained with them when I was in college, and, trained with Olympians, things like that. So I've been around athletes a long time. And on kind of both ends of, either working out with them or, working with them as patients. And they know all this stuff. This is secondhand to them because they have, high-level nutritionists telling them these things. These are little secret tips and tricks that you can incorporate in your life, because it helps with cortisol. It's going to help with your results, and it's going to show you some completely new and different things, which is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, I just wanted to see if you guys have any more questions on this, because if you're doing workouts 30 minutes or less, great, super duper. If it's anything longer, adding in that glucose is going to keep your cortisol levels low. So still do proper nutrient timing before and after a workout, of course, but this will change how you feel during a workout. Wait, Angie's asking a question. What if you were supposed to homemade Gatorade throughout your entire 45-minute workout, taking a sip every 5 minutes or so. Yes. Yes, it will, Angie. Excellent. And I do have a recipe that I've posted before on like homemade Gatorade. Use coconut water, a little bit of juice, some sea salt, some magnesium calcium powder in there, and then some fresh fruit, right? And you can Pinterest some of these too. You just want some type of sugar. So sometimes I will sip on something like that if I'm at the gym. Or if I'm going for a run, I will take something with me, like a little glucose pouch. You know, those really do make a difference. And they really do make a difference. And the reason you want to use them is because your body needs to be treated like a professional athlete's because of hormone issues, because of stress. Your body's under all this stress already. I'm trying to work through this stuff already. You don't want to tax it out more. If you tax it out more, it's going to shut down more, which increases the fat that you have. So, excellent question, Angie, though. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any more questions. This is a really simple thing. You can get a lot of stuff at the grocery store to do this. It's just, for me, it's remembering to take this with me if I'm going on a longer run or something. I did get like a flip belt and some other things so when I do my runs that I've got stuff with me so that I can do this properly and really get the right nutrition timing. Because it does make a difference in your recovery, in your endurance, in your training, in your results. Physically, you know, with your body physically, and with with what you're trying to go to for your like fitness goal or whatever. I want to run faster. I want to, you know, increase my time. I want to be able to finish a 10K or whatever your goal is. Adding in glucose after that 30-minute mark when you're running will change a ton. So let me know if you guys have questions on this. You can comment below. You can message me privately if you're not comfortable commenting. More than happy to chat with you about any of these things. You're learning a lot. Oh, yes. Well, that's great. Yay. I'm glad you're learning. That's my goal, is just to educate women on things that you can do and take into your own hands and just use to get to better health. So many women are trying to be healthy and trying to have their families be healthy, but they're, I want to say, following the wrong map for our bodies. So again, if questions, contact me. You can go to my website here, which is just www.drbethwesty.com. Get a free 7-day, meal plan guide. You'll actually get another 7 days sent to you, so it's 14 days. High protein, protein pacing, clean eating, intermittent fasting, and carb cycling, all packed in there. You can go to Amazon and get my new book that is out. That was a #1 new release and a bestseller on the first day, which is amazing. And then I have that 12-week program. If you guys have questions on whether or not that would be the right fit for you, go ahead and ask or message me and we can chat about whether or not that would be the right thing for you to jump into, especially if you're struggling with things like this: stress, cortisol, and fitting in exercise to get you the right results. Okay, everybody have a great night, and I will chat with you later.